What's up, guys? I'm making a video today about an argument topic that everybody's talking about, and it's about The Soprano. Now, everybody says in the last scene that Tony Soprano died, and I just wanted to talk. I wanted to say something people haven't been wanting to say, and it's that Tony Soprano didn't die, and I have proof. Now, this is a big show, so I'm going to explain all the stuff that you need to know, even if you haven't seen it. So, yeah, let's get to the list. Top 5 reasons Tony Soprano didn't die. Number 5, I watched the scene over again. I didn't see a gun. Tony Soprano, he's a big guy. He could take a gun, and I didn't see one. And I didn't really get why everybody said that Tony Soprano died from gun, but clearly, if he were to die from gun, it would be a big gun, but I didn't see any gun. If he were to die from anything, it would have been the onion rings he was eating, because that's bad for you. He would have died from a heart attack, probably. But he definitely didn't die from gun, because there wasn't a big enough gun to shoot him dead with. Number 4 is gonna be the two guys in the diner. I want to debunk these two guys. There's one guy in a hat and one guy in a jacket. Now, I want to say the guy in the hat, you can see very clearly he's getting coffee, and the coffee he gets has 3 creamers in it. That's gay, and I don't think he would be strong enough to hold the gun. Now, that's debunk number 1. And debunk number 2 is that the guy in the jacket, the member-only jacket, he would not be able to shoot Tony because he went to the bathroom? And how would you be able to shoot someone if you went to the bathroom? Plus, if you look in the scene very closely, he looks at Tony Soprano very closely. So he probably is gay too and thinks he's hot. I want to clarify right off that I have a good friend who's half gay, and this is not saying he's bad. I'm saying he might not be able to lift the gun because he just doesn't. Tony, number 5, Tony got shot before. Why would he die again if he got shot here? Like, we already saw that Uncle June shot Tony. Why would shooting Tony again do anything? Clearly, Tony can't die from bullets. Like, that's obvious. I feel like, that's inconsistent to his character, if anything. Like, I like Tony Soprano because he doesn't die from bullets, and he's like a strong, tough guy. And like, if he died from bullet, I feel like that would be really, like, he'd be a lot less tough. But that's bad writing, though. Like, it's like, if I was on that script, I wouldn't have included that. And clearly David Chase, the creator of Soprano, believed that too. So, that's my number 5. Number 3 is going to be the band Journey. The band Journey, they made that song that's in the background of this scene. I can't remember the name of it, but everyone in the band Journey's still alive. Even to this day, 10 years later, all of Journey is still alive, and I think that would be very dumb of the writers of Soprano if they thought they would make a song about a guy dying where everybody's still alive in the band. Like, if you wanted to like, have a song about a guy dying, put a song by Nirvana in there or something. I don't know. Or do something old where everybody in the band's gonna be dead, like the Rolling Stones or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's my number 3. Another writing tip. So, you know, Sopranos is better than that. Number 4 is gonna be Tony Soprano on Sesame Street. This is kind of a deep cut, but to those die-hard Soprano heads out there, They've all seen the Tony Soprano clip on Sesame Street. He's hanging out with fucking Big Bird and Elmo and all that shit. It's all cool, you know, it's my little nephew, he loves that shit. And that's how we bond, we talk about that shit all day. But Tony Soprano, he was on Sesame Street after Soprano ended. So he clearly got his act together and he got out of the mob and he started doing stuff for kids. So how would he have been on that show if he died? I don't get it. That's not right. Number 2, Sopranos clearly are invincible to bullets. This is kind of like something I said earlier, but as we could see in the show, even people who want to die, like Tony Jr., he can't even die. So the only way to kill a soprano is by old age. Just like with Tony's mom and Uncle June, he's dying because he's in a wheelchair because he has the soprano curse of not being able to die from anything but old age. So, yeah. Number 3, that's gonna be Tony Jr. sacrificed himself because he wanted to die. Now, this kind of this is under the assumption that somebody did have a gun, and I think it would be very in character for Tony Jr. to want to jump in front of the bullet for his father because he had a moment of growth, and this would really display that he grew up and quit being such a baby, and he showed that he was really tough, and Tony would finally respect him in heaven. So that's my number 3. Number 3 is gonna be the cat in the earlier part of the episode. So if you watch the episode over again, last episode of The Sopranos, you could see that there's a cat, and Paulie calls the cat bad, and Tony says he's a good guy. Now Tony Soprano chooses his allies very closely, so I don't know if he would call the cat a good guy if he didn't know it. And my theory is that this was foreshadowing. And everyone knows that cats have 9 lives. So if the cat could afford to be shot by a bullet by the guy with all the creamer, he wouldn't have died. He would have had 8 lives left because he chose to ally with Soprano. So that's number 3. Number 2 is going to be Tony's wife sacrificed herself because she loved her husband. This one's self-explanatory. This one's for all the ladies out there. You all love your husbands, and you wouldn't want to see him die by a gun. And this is just Tony's wife. She always loved her husband very much, and Tony loved his wife very much. And I think this is just very in character for Miss Soprano to do that. And I think that if she probably saw the guy with the gun, if there was guy with gun, and I think she would have jumped in the way of the bullet for love. So that's number 2. Number 2, and this is getting down to the wire. Number 2 is going to be real life facts that Tony Soprano actually died in 2013. He died from a heart attack. He probably ate too many onion rings. This is just sad, but if he died in 2013, he wouldn't have been able to die in 2010 or whenever The Soprano ended. So, people aren't really talking about that when they discuss Tony's dying. Number 2 is going to be Bobby. People often forget this, but Bobby's ghost before the scene of the end when they're in Holston's, the diner, which I went to with my grandma. It's freaking awesome. It's like delicious, but on back on topic, Bobby's ghost. People often forget that before the scene with the diner, he comes to visit Tony, and he says that the only place that you'll be safe is Holston's Diner in New Jersey. Now, I love Bobby, and he didn't make it out, but he's a good guy, so he would have given Tony a good word in with the spirit. He knew what was going to happen, so if Bobby led Tony astray, who can you trust anymore? The world is fucked up if you can't trust a guy like Bobby. Number one is gonna be, this is inarguable proof that Tony Soprano didn't die. I asked David Chase, the inventor of Sopranos, to weigh in on the topic, and I think the result is gonna change your mind about it. So, I'm gonna play that clip. Mr. David Chase, can you finally tell the world that Tony Soprano didn't die during the last episode, and explain why?
No. The guy's got to be a tough guy or something.
See, I knew it. I've been saying this for so long, and finally I get it from the source. Isn't it true that, like, how would he have been on Sesame Street if he was dead? Like, Tony Soprano, that doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it is. Now that you mention it, it is true.
And there you have it. It's literally indisputable that Soprano didn't die, and he lived a happy life for a couple years. He probably shouldn't have ate so many onion rings, but it's okay, because he probably was pretty happy in the meantime, because he was having good food and good family, even though his son or wife might have died. So, yeah, that's my list. I hope this ends the arguments once and for all. I know a lot of people are very mad and probably want to kill me for exposing this truth about this show, this beloved show, but I needed to speak my piece and finally get the word out about the truth of this show. So, thanks, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.